had a personal issue with me. And like I said, I'm making this video to also let people know that the work that I do, a lot of people do not like me for any reason. And this might not be the last time something like this will happen. People will always come out to say so many things, and I'll always come out to clear my name. I want people to understand that if it ever gets bad for me, I'll rather come out online to ask people for help. I would never in my life look at somebody who is struggling and tell them that, I want money from you. I would never do that. And even it doesn't even make sense. So, brothers and sisters, I want people to know that Burna Boy had intentions to really help that lady, and his team made efforts, good efforts. They spent millions of naira. I just hope that money somehow to be able to recover it. They spent good effort, but unfortunately,
Hi guys, welcome to my channel everybody, and thank you so much for watching. What's going on guys? I am Jade. If you're new here, please hit the like button and also share this video. Thank you guys so much. So this is Lucky Udu. So he's the one that Helene Mutini of Kenya, the alleged baby mama of Cubana Chiefpriest, is accusing of trying to sleep with her, trying to do all kinds of things, all because he was instructed to give her help from Burna Boy. So he has obviously come out to basically deny, that no such thing happened. I haven't watched the entirety of this video, so I'm going to be watching most of it for the first time as we do this together. So let's listen to what he has to say, defending himself and basically claiming that the lady is a liar. So he's going to tell his side of the story. Remember, we have heard her side of the story, and now we're about to hear his. And I always operate by the principle that basically says in every situation, there are three sides to a story. There is his side, there is her side, and then there is the truth somewhere in between. So I'm just going to put this out there before we continue. So this is Lucky Udu, the person who runs a charity organization, online charity organization. Personally, I always have an issue with all those online charity organizations because there is no accountability. There is no guardrails, and there is no check and balance. Everybody's just doing whatever. They can tell you whatever, but that's a story for another day. But today we are going to be listening to his side of the story, because the accusations and the allegations that Helen made against him are very serious allegations, and they are very, very capable of destroying his reputation, his life. And so let's listen to what he has to say. So yeah, those are serious allegations, okay? Those are serious ones.
Burna Boy said I should look for the one.
Sorry guys, I need to.
How many of you remember the lady that Burna Boy said I should look for? The one in Kenya that said her baby daddy does not want to take responsibility of his child.
We remember, we were all here. It wasn't as if this happened like 10 years ago. This only happened a few days ago. So that right there, you're not starting off on a good note. Like, we know this is not even a week since this whole thing happened. So yeah.
Boy said, look, you do find hard for me. I want to ensure that child gets a scholarship. How many of you remember the lady that Burna Boy said I should look for? The one in Kenya that said her baby daddy does not want to take responsibility of his child. Burna Boy said, look, you do find hard for me. I want to ensure that child gets a scholarship and this man gets a good business doing and a good comfortable house. So eventually I found her. I'm sure some of you remember because I posted it across my social media platform when I found her. And somebody who works for Burna Boy, his name is Mr. Salami, through Burna Boy Football Academy, reached out to her, and then they started the entire process of bringing her to Nigeria to meet Burna Boy and to, get the scholarship for the child and everything. And Burna Boy spent, I'm sure, more than 8 million naira. I don't know.
Can I just say this? Yeah. when it was first reported that, oh, Burna Boy has reached out, or Burna Boy wants to help, blah blah blah, because if you remember her timing, which I think was obviously very very strategic, she came out around the same time that Burna Boy and CCP were dragging each other. That was when she decided to drop the video begging for help, which obviously, because these two men, grown ass men, were looking for what they were going to use to drag each other. And that basically meant anything below the belt, they were willing to hit. So it was around that time that she dropped the new latest video begging for help, calling on to Cubana Chiefpriest and begging him to come and look after his kid, which obviously caught the attention of Burna Boy. Basically, he sent somebody to reach out to her and do this and that and the other. You know, when that whole situation first happened, my mind, I was like, okay, he's probably going to just send her money, ask for her bank information, and send her money. But when this charity organization guy started posting about how Burna Boy wants to sponsor the boy's education, Burna Boy wants the boy to come to Nigeria, Burna Boy wants to, make sure that the baby, grows up and become a soccer star and all this other stuff. I was like, all of this is just going to complicate things. Okay, nobody knows tomorrow. Hopefully the goal of everyone is to live long and prosper, but that's not necessarily the case. Doesn't always happen that way. So how about you just give this person money and say, this money that I'm giving you, I want you to use it to start a business. I don't want you to come back tomorrow and start moaning and groaning about baby daddy, oh, baby daddy, oh. That was what I was expecting. But then when this guy came out and was saying that Burna Boy wants to sponsor education and do all these things, as opposed to just giving her maybe one lump sum of money and asking her to do something with her life. Like if she still wants to pursue DNA just because she feels it is important for her son to know who his father is, then that's a good thing. Like, I have no problem with that. But the entire world does not need to get involved, because bringing the entire world to come and know about this DNA situation, nobody can force Cubana Chiefpriest to take a DNA test. Nobody can force him to take a DNA test. So if she wants to do that behind the scenes, get the Kenyan consulate involved in Nigeria and see how they can come to some type of agreement where he will voluntarily agree to taking the DNA so that they can put all these things to rest for the sake of the kid. I'm down for it. I was actually hoping that Burna Boy stepping in was to just give her one lump sum of money and be like, bye, don't come crying outside again. But the next to start hearing about all these big plans that they have for him, we're gonna sponsor the boy's education. We're gonna make sure he's a soccer star in the future. I'm like what gives? To me that was crazy. That was wild. That was wild to me. That was so unnecessary. That is somebody just roping themselves into something that will really backfire. And now it has backfired, because now the whole thing has now become a joke. And now Burna Boy is somehow stuck in the middle, because you cannot mention this situation without mentioning his name. And again, this is what happens when you don't think with your head, when you have revenge in your brain, when you are in a competition of, oh, who's gonna hit below the belt? I need to hit this person below the belt because they hit me below the belt. I need to one up them. That's how you land yourself in a situation, because in that moment you're no longer using your brain. You are in that desperation mode because you feel like you need to come out on top. You need to win. So if it means bringing somebody else that will then turn around and be a nightmare for you, then that's what is happening right now. Let everybody learn from this situation. Burna Boy did not need to try to contact that lady. He didn't need to do any of that, because even if it is true that Cubana Chiefpriest is the father, that has nothing to do. Okay, he could have dragged, if he wanted to drag, he could have been like, see this other lady that is coming out and claiming that you're the father of her child. He could have used that. But to say, somebody help me contact this lady, I want to help this lady, like, how is that your business? You know, he also did the same thing with the one who claimed he was Burna Boy's Cubana Chiefpriest brother. Like, none of those things. Now, he's now the laughing stock. Not that he cares anyways, but at this moment, all of this is making him look bad, okay? Because every time this situation is now being mentioned, his name is getting roped into it, basically. Let everybody use sense. Sense is very important, honestly.
If Burna Boy gave anybody any money for her, but I'm sure that they were spending millions of naira trying to get her passport, her visa, and so many other things. And I was really happy for this lady. I always tell her that she should not worry, her life was going to change and everything. But recently, we've been seeing some videos online. She and one other lady that calls herself a lawyer has been seeing so many things that are not really true. In fact, from my perspective, they are entirely false. I'm going to post the entire screenshot of my chat with Helen. Nothing is entirely missing out from it. I don't want to edit this video. I'm going to post it as a separate video entirely, so you guys will know that that lady that calls herself a lawyer, that has been making videos that Instablog has been posting, is saying false. People should even go through the profile of that lady to even see the kind of person you are listening to. I'm not saying you should judge people by how they look or how they present themselves, but to be honest, that lady said everything she said is entirely false. She said that we are asking for a percentage. All my life, I have never, nobody that I've ever brought to my platform, have I ever asked for any sort of percentage. If there's anybody that can say, look, you don't have asked me for any percentage, come out with evidence, and I promise that this is the last video anybody will see from me on the internet. I'll quit this work that I do for good. If anybody can come out, provide any evidence I've ever asked them for money. It was just this guy that Burna Boy gave 50 million naira. When I was interviewing him, then I asked him, are you going to donate anything to Lokiudu Studio? And he said yes, which he donated 2 million naira. And that money was what I used to purchase this laptop. It's a MacBook Pro. I also bought charge.
Okay, let me just stop you there, okay? You see what you're saying? You are the one who asked. Why would you be asking somebody if they are going to donate to your charity? To me, what that tells me is that she's not wrong. This Helen lady is not wrong. Okay, why would you? Somebody said, contact this Cubana Chiefpriest so-called brother, give him so-called amount of money. And then you are telling the, because you saw the person with a huge lump sum of money, you are now asking the person to donate to your charity organization. And then you took the money and you went and bought a laptop with it. Why would you even do that? Why? Like, okay, especially, and you know that person is not going to say no to you. Okay, that person is not going to say no to you because you know that he has money. You are the one that delivered the funds to him, so of course he's not going to say no. Of course he's going to say yes. You know what I mean? But you are in a position of authority in that moment. Regardless of how much money he had, he didn't have that much money before, but you are in a position of authority. You are in a position of power in that moment, and you are in a position where he feels intimidated, even feeling ungrateful if he has said no to you, and you purposely asked him, knowing, exacting your power, and knowing that he will never say no in that moment. You know he will never say no. You know that shame will not let him say no. You know that he will never say no because he will feel like, oh, you're going to be thinking that he's ungrateful. So what are you talking about? To me, it shows that you are morally flawed. You yourself, Mr. Lokiudu, you are morally flawed. You should not be asking people who have received charity donations to come and support your charity organization. You should not be doing that. Okay, maybe other people who have been in that guy's situation have not come out because they're just happy, you know, that okay, somebody has reached out to them and lent a helping hand to them, and the money came through you. They feel a certain obligation, just like the guy would have felt obligated to give you 2 million naira because he has just been given this huge amount of money, $30,000, which is nothing to sneeze at. of course he's going to think like, this guy will think I'm stingy, or this guy will think I'm mean if I say no to donating to his charity organization. You don't do things like that. You don't do things like that. You are demanding, you are asking like that. That to me, that speaks of your, lack of moral compass. Honestly, it speaks of your lack of moral compass. Honestly, Mr. Lucky, you do. Because you don't do that. You don't ask somebody who had just been given a charity and it happens. It's like you taking advantage. You are taking advantage because you know that this person is backed into a corner. You know this person is backed into a corner, and because of the imbalance of power between you and him, forget about the $30 million. There's still an imbalance of power. And this person is never, ever, 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 ever going to say no to you, because he knows that right there, and for you to have the audacity, for you to be audacious enough to ask, he knows that anything other than a yes and compliance will completely make you see him a different way. You asked the man for money. It wasn't as if he gave you from his own volition and be like, thank you so much for helping me. Well, I can't believe Burna Boy just dashed me $30,000. My brother, thank you for facilitating this. I want to use this 2 million naira to support your cause. I want to use this 2 million naira to help you because I see that you're doing a good job. I have been a benefactor. You had to ask. Put him in a situation where he can't really say no to you, can he? So that speaks a lot about you too. We need to be honest. We need to be fair. Okay? You know, in that moment, he couldn't have possibly said no to you. You know this. I beg you, una too they do. Una too they do. She's not wrong. She's not wrong. And I believe, because the same way that you asked that guy is the same way that you asked her. That is why you even sent her proof that, oh, this is not something that I am just doing. I'm just targeting you alone. No, this is what I do with everybody. Anybody that gets supported through my charity has to pay something back and give me something. I'm very sure that was how the tone was. Because how else would she have known? What would have prompted her to what would have prompted you to send her the receipt of the money that the guy sent, if it wasn't something that you felt you needed to do to show her that this was not just about her, that this was a practice. This was what you did with everybody who has ever received help through your charity. That's not cool. Make una they try. Una too they do. This is why I always say, when it comes to all this charity, again, they say now we're person for the work, now you person for the chop, right? I agree. But when somebody gives you donation and say, give it to this person, don't be intimidating that person. Don't be using all kinds of gimmicks to try and collect some. I'm sure that there are some people who are very appreciative of what you do that will just say, here, this is something that I want to use to support you as a person for all the good work that you do. I'm sure there are people who are giving you support like that. So why would your eye be on other people's own again? Come on. You people get enough support outside of the donation you get from the charity. Why would you not just, why would you be so greedy? The truth needs to be told. You people, some of you don't know how to behave. And this is why you're getting exposed. And it's just so sad because our country, a lot of us Nigerians, we're so forgiving. We are so considerate of people like you who do bad things. And because of one single good thing that you have done, which really was a way for you to pay forward, make up for every other bad thing that you will go on to do in your career, because we are so forgiving. People always like to say, well, let's just focus on the good things. And that's why a lot of you get away with this. And I hope that you people stop getting away with it, because this is not cool. This is not cool at all. Haba.
Memory card, hard drives, and so many other things that are used for my internet, I'll quit this work that I do for good. If anybody can come out, provide any evidence I've ever asked them for money. It was just this guy that Burna Boy gave 50 million naira. When I was interviewing him, then I asked him, are you going to donate anything to Lokiudu Studio? And he said yes, which he donated 2 million naira. And that money was what I used to purchase this laptop. It's a MacBook Pro. I also bought charger, memory card, hard drives, and so many other things that I use for my filming. And to be honest, this is the first time anybody that benefited from my platform is even donating to me. Nobody really
Thank you so much, Positive Vibe, for sharing.
Donates to me, and nobody cares how I survive. So that's by the way. So that is not just the only thing. This other lady came out to say that we're saying that we want to do something with her. I mean, that is entirely wrong, entirely false. I never in my life had any conversation with that lady or even had anything close to that conversation with her. So I don't know why anybody wants to come out to say something like this. This Helen lady in Kenya, at some point she was telling me that they are processed the visa and everything, but she's worried because she doesn't know where she's going to stay if she comes to Nigeria. That where she wants to stay is in Victoria Island. I say, see, this one you are making demands like this, it is not appropriate because it might discourage the person that wants to help you. And seeing the fact that Burna Boy has spent over 10 million naira just to even bring here, that's a lot of money, and to be honest, it doesn't really make sense. She was saying that she says she also wants to come to Nigeria with one of her siblings. I was like, that's just going to inconvenience Burna Boy because he has his own family, he has a lot of people to take care of. So why are you trying to add more responsibilities?
For me, okay? And I don't know, this woman, her story is somehow, when it comes to where she met Cubana Chiefpriest and all this other stuff, sometimes she's very hard to follow because she's all over the place. I believe she has said at one point that she had been to Nigeria before, okay? And I get that. But when she said that she wanted to bring somebody with her, I don't think that she did anything wrong. Like, nobody in this entire world is going to make me go to another country, especially considering the situation, especially considering how they got to the point where she now has to maybe go to a different country to resolve some legal issues. Nobody is going to make me go there without having my own person go with me. It is a very reasonable demand. It is a very reasonable ask to say, I don't want to go on my own. Can somebody come with me? Can you guys try? Like, how much can it possibly cost? The only difference would be flight tickets and everything. Both of you can stay in the same hotel room and all of that stuff. So nobody is going to make me go somewhere that that, especially given the contention of what's currently going on, nobody's going to make me go somewhere without my own person following me. So it's not unreasonable if she's asking if somebody will go with them. It can't possibly cost double what they would have used to take her, because it can't possibly, because everything else can be managed. The only thing that cannot be managed is the flight tickets, where everybody gets their own seat. They can have the same hotel, but flight ticket cannot be managed because plane not be where you go say, lap me. They don't lap for plane. They're not a lap for flight. So everybody has to have their own ticket. So I don't even think that would have been like too much financial burden on Burna Boy, who not even a few days ago handed somebody $30,000, have been at 30 million, however much he gave somebody. I don't think that would have been too much financial burden. Like, it would not have made that much of a difference, that it would have been doubled what they would have spent if she had gone by herself. You know what I mean? So, like, it makes complete sense that she wants to have a family member or a friend or somebody that knows her from Kenya. Like, who does that? Especially considering everything that's going on. Like, you'd be crazy to just go and chase Nigeria on your own like that. Nigeria, they hard for somebody where not get wahala, let alone this one that has wahala. Again, I'm not saying this to say that she's telling the truth about Cubana Chiefpriest being the father of her child. Though. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just understanding her. I'm just understanding from her point of view in saying, I want somebody that knows me, somebody from Kenya here to go with me. You know, if you guys don't mind also helping me get a ticket for that person. That's what I think. And I think that's completely reasonable. Hit the like button, guys, please.
That she doesn't feel safe, that she wants security to always be with her. So many demands that she was making. And I think I spoke with Burna Boy's PA to confirm where exactly she'll be staying. And he told me that he has an Airbnb that she's going to be staying, a 2-bedroom flat with AC, everything fully furnished. There's going to be a nanny, there's going to be a cook. But she said that according to Burna Boy's PA, Mr. Salami, that she said that what she wants is to be buying food every day. And to be honest, these things are not so good. So at some point, I even felt discouraged. I don't want to edit this video, so I'm going to post an.
So she wants to be buying food every day. She doesn't want to have a cook because they are proposing to give her a cook. And she's saying she doesn't want a cook. She wants to be buying food every day, which again, in my opinion, makes sense. Honestly, it does. You know, again, you don't know who is who. For me, I don't even know why this woman even agreed to even carry the wahala and go to Nigeria. She would have just, you know, made an agreement with them to like just give her money and just call it a day. I get it. I 100% understand. You know, what if the cook has something in mind? What if the cook was sent by Cubana Chiefpriest's wife or Cubana Chiefpriest himself to come and poison? You know, anything can happen. So I completely understand. I get it. I get what she's saying. I get why she's very apprehensive about this trip. I 100% get it. Abba.
Entire a different video entirely. The video is just going to be like a screen record of my chat with Helen, so you guys can see entirely everything I discussed. I never in my life asked Helen for percentage. Nobody in this world, I am boasting, can ever come out anywhere and say Lucky stole their money or Lucky took money for them in a misleading way. I have never even.
Yeah, but yeah, that's not. But nobody's going to say that. They're not going to say that you took money from them in a misleading way. This is just pure gaslighting. Honestly, Mr. Lucky, this is pure gaslighting. Nobody, of course, nobody is going to come and say you took money away from them in a misleading way. Just like the guy, the so-called alleged brother of Cubana Chiefpriest, is not going to say you took money. You approached that guy and you said if he was willing to donate to your organization. In your mind, you won't think it's misleading. In their own mind too, they're not going to think it's misleading. But you know exactly what you're doing. You back them into a corner, knowing that they can never say no. So to me, I don't think that is I think that's gaslighting. Of course, nobody's going to say. Of course, those people, especially when they've been given a huge lump sum of money, they're going to be like, oh, God, somebody gets 30 million or $30,000 or however much, and you are asking, can you just donate 2 million? Of course, they're going to say yes, because they know they still have a lump sum. But does it make it okay what you're doing? No, it doesn't make what you're doing okay.
The foundation that I run, we give people 100% of the donations, and that's why up till now Lokido Studio does not even have an office. There are many times I'll go out to film people's story. I won't even have a hotel to sleep, and after posting their story, Nigerians will donate millions of naira to these people, even up to 10 million naira, and I won't even have transport to travel to the next state to go film the other people I want to film. It's my ex-girlfriend in.
I actually find that hard to believe, but yeah, I find it hard to believe that, especially the way you maneuver this guy, this Cubana Chiefpriest alleged brother, especially when you consider the way you maneuver the guy into giving you $2,000 naira, 2 million naira. I will not be surprised if I don't believe that people will give you money to give to somebody 10 million naira and you won't take anything from it. I don't believe that. I don't. Sorry, I don't.
Pennsylvania, United States of America, that will always send me money. I said, Lucky, and I won't even have transport to travel to. There are many times I'll go out to film people's story. I won't even have a hotel to sleep. And after posting their story, Nigerians would donate millions of naira to these people, even up to 10 million naira. And I won't even have transport to travel to the next state to go film the other people I want to film. It's my ex-girlfriend in Pennsylvania, United States of America, that will always send me money. I said, Lucky, I don't know why you want to kill yourself for people who don't even care about you. And she's always the one coming through for me, except sometimes God will just touch the heart of some people and say, Lucky, I love your good work. I'm talking about back then when I used to make great videos and I was not even monetized because I didn't have money to always pay transport. That was how bad it was for me. I never compromised. Is it now that, sometimes people pay me for adverts, sometimes we get little things from monetization that I will not compromise. I'm a very contented person. Everything you are seeing on the internet saying that I was asking for a percentage is false. I have never in my life asked anybody for something like that. If anybody can come out and say, Lucky Udu once asked me for percentage, I promise that this will be the last video you ever see of me. In fact, if anybody in this world can come out and say Lucky stole from me, or Lucky took my money in a misleading way, or anything about money, you never hear that. And then she was also saying that they were also saying I was asking her for knack. Jesus, it's not even that bad for me. I understand that what a lot of you see is always that guy that is saying, how many of you remember something like this? To be honest, it's not that bad for me. And I don't think that I would ever stoop that low to have that kind of conversation with her. I mean, if I really like someone, I'll tell them I like them. And do you understand me? But I don't think that I'll ever in my life say something like that to her. So that is entirely false. I never even had any conversation that was close to something like that. Judging from the kinds of people around my life, I am not even lacking female attention in the slightest way you can imagine. It is not that bad for me, and it can never get that bad for me, to be honest. We live in a world where if it's that bad for you, at least you can pay for something, right? You can pay for attention. So why would I want to have a conversation like that with someone like that? So that is entirely false. And the lady, this Kenyan lady has a friend who claims to be a lawyer and a judge. She has been making so many videos. You guys should take your time and go through the profile of that lady. You guys should take your time and see the kind of person that is saying something like that. That lady does not look like somebody that will say the truth. She looks like somebody who will say anything just for clout. I'm not trying to defend anything. I'm just trying to tell people exactly what happened. I don't appreciate the fact that Burna Boy's name is flying the internet in this manner, because all he wanted to do was to help. You can see the evidence. That guy, he gave him about 50 million naira. The interviews on my YouTube channel, I just interviewed him. Go and watch what Burna Boy told him. Burna Boy even told him, be good to your brother, Cubana Chiefpriest. Advised him like a brother would advise his own blood brother. So that is the kind of person Burna Boy is. I do not understand why anybody will be saying something like that towards Burna Boy. Now, this lady, after her visa has been processed and everything, she missed her flight. Like I said, I'm going to post another video, and that video is going to be an entire screen record of my conversation with Helen to prove to you entirely that everything Helen is saying is entirely false. It is even now that I spoke to Mr. Salami, the person who works for Burna Boy. He manages Burna Boy Football Academy, that I discovered that Burna Boy had already even sent.
Can I say something? With regards to what he's saying that Ellen missed her flight, I don't think Ellen missed her flight. I honestly think Helen had no intention of going to Nigeria. Helen was just stringing every single person along, hoping that Helen does not want to go to Nigeria. Helen does not want to get a DNA test because, again, you guys already know what I think about Helen. I think Helen is a fibber. I think Helen is a bullshitter. I think Helen is lying, okay, about Chiefpriest being the father of her child. Again, like I've always said, I will not be surprised when all of this is exposed and the so-called father of the child, the real father of the child, is the one recording the videos that Helen is posting on social media. I don't think Helen never had the intention of going to Nigeria. Helen was hoping that she'll be able to convince these people to just send her money. I don't think Helen had any intention of going to Nigeria. I don't think she missed her flight at all. She didn't want to go. She didn't want to go. That's not what she wants. All of this, she doesn't want to take a DNA. She doesn't want to go to Nigeria. She doesn't want Cubana Chiefpriest to be held accountable for anything, because there's nothing for him to be held accountable for. Helen just wants money, allegedly, in my opinion. That's what Helen wants. So I don't think she missed her flight at all. I don't think, when I heard that she missed her flight, I was like, yeah, that is like the oldest trick in the book. The oldest. Oh, just say you missed your flight. That way nobody will hold you accountable for it. Nobody will say you didn't want to go. Like, she has been planning this for a long time. It is just so unfortunate that Burna Boy took the bait. It's just so unfortunate. In my opinion, she's a scammer. In my opinion, Helen is a scammer. But because Burna Boy had revenge in his brain, like he just wants revenge, has revenge on his mind, was willing to do anything. And that's how he landed himself in this situation, because this has nothing to do with her. But now, from now till the foreseeable future, his name is going to be roped into this conversation. Okay. Somebody said, I think she intentionally missed that flight. Yeah, she did. Yeah. I don't think she missed it by mistake at all. She had no intention. She was probably sleeping in the house. She looking at all these people doing yimu to all these people and thinking, who are all these mumu people? These mumu people think I will carry my 2 left leg and carry my baby's 2 left leg and go to Nigeria to do what? Like, they've already said it. The so-called friend/sister has already said it, that people are trying to run away from Nigeria. Nigerian citizens are trying to run away from Nigeria. Why would she go to Nigeria without a penny and a shilling? That's what that one said in the video that was released yesterday. When they were waiting for her, when they were expecting her to get on board to be boarding the flight, she was probably in her bed sleeping and doing Nemo at these people. She had no intention of going. She intentionally missed the flight. Ah, my goodness. People, make una get sense, I beg. Make una they try get small sense.
Another video, and that video is going to be an entire screen record of my conversation with Helen to prove to you entirely that everything Helen is saying is entirely false. It is even now that I spoke to Mr. Salami, the person who works for Burna Boy. He manages Burna Boy Football Academy. That I discovered that Burna Boy had already even sent 30 million naira to him. I never knew about that before now. All I knew was I was always in contact with Salami. Sometimes he would send me update of what was going on, and sometimes he will complain, Lucky, this lady is making too many demands. And to be honest, I don't think Burna Boy will be happy to hear about this. And I'll tell Mr. Salami, please calm down. Don't let Burna Boy know about it yet. Let me talk to her. I'm sure people are speaking into her head, and I'm sure people were speaking into Helen's head, to be honest, because everybody saw that Burna Boy was looking for him. The fact that Burna Boy had given someone 50 million naira, she had really high expectation. I'm sure the people around her will be feeding to her ear, because some people in Kenya were telling her that she wants that she should tell us that she's coming with somebody from Kenya. Like, to be honest, that doesn't make sense. Saying that you want to stay in Victoria Island, you want security 247, you want to be buying your food outside. To be honest, that would discourage anybody. And at this point, judging from everything.
No, I don't. If you're reasonable, it will not discourage a reasonable person. Again, remember, if all of this were true, okay, if really it is true, according to her, that Cubana Chiefpriest is the father, is the one who impregnated her, and she really had the intention of coming to Nigeria to come and sort it out once and for all. To me, I wouldn't say it was unreasonable for her to want somebody to come with her. I also wouldn't say it was unreasonable for her to say, I don't want anybody cooking for me or minding my child. I want to cook my own food. I want to buy my own food. It is not unreasonable. She doesn't know any of you. She does not know any of you, from anywhere. For all we know, any one of you could be working for Cubana Chiefpriest and just attempting and trying to like lure her to the country and where he can, you know, do whatever he plans or wants to do. I don't think it's unreasonable at all. Like, for you to think that it is unreasonable just shows, yeah, that you like just how close-minded you are, how biased you are, or how clueless you are. Things are happening, man. Things are happening. No. In this whole situation, if her situation was true and her claims were true about Cubana Chiefpriest, I think she has every right, well within her right, to be very cautious about going to Nigeria where she knows no one and possibly putting herself in danger. She doesn't know any one of you from a hole in the wall. Okay? She's not expecting any level of protection from you guys.
Thing the lady has been saying online that is false, saying a lot of false things about me. I would not even encourage Burna Boy to go ahead to help that lady in any way, to be honest, because God has given you, God has just blessed you, but then you let what people tell you to ruin your opportunity. You're making too many demands and then coming out to say bad things about Burna Boy. That is totally unfair. You missed your flight. I wasn't even happy with it in any way. I'm sure Burna Boy's team were not happy about it too. Why would you even miss your flight? After all the money, millions of naira that was spent, you say you did not even have money for boots. It doesn't make sense. There was no money you asked for that was not sent to you. So why would you do something like that, considering the fact that you had a child? And to be honest, I was only doing this to help you. Looking at that boy, I felt really bad about it. That was the only reason I was even making all this effort talking to you. I'm a very busy person. I help a lot of people every day. So that is the only reason. Left alone, I don't have any business talking to you. So I am making this video because I feel like I think the people who support my platform, who watch me consistently, and who also support the people that I interview on my platform deserve to hear an explanation from me. I owe it to you guys to tell people entirely what happened. And I'm also going to share a screen record of my entire conversation with Helen, so you people know that there are a lot of people who do not like me for reasons I can't explain, and they'll do anything to say negative and false things about me. And see, I support what's that thing called, activism. When you are fighting for the less privileged, I strongly support it, but you have to do it right. Those of you who were in a haste to go write things about me that were not true, that is not the right way to go. You never reached out to me to make any confirmation. You just went on, and it's not as if maybe you even say this is what the lady said. You went on to call me names on your platform, sharing it to blogs. That is not how to go about it. I understand that VDM is doing a lot of great things in Nigeria, and a lot of young people look up to him. They are inspired by what he do, and these days young people just take out their phone because they have an account on social media. They come out to start. Nobody attains greatness by doing something like that. If you truly want to create value, you have to do it the right way. I am not against you, but if you truly want to achieve great things, you don't really have to do things that way, because that is not good. When something that you're not entirely sure of, you're not even sure if you did not make any attempts, you just go post it. And I swear, when I read those things that guy wrote, it did not even come from, it came as if he had a personal issue with me. And like I said, I'm making this video to also let people know that the work that I do, a lot of people do not like me for any reason. And this might not be the last time something like this will happen. People will always come out to say so many things, and I'll always come out to clear my name. I want people to understand that if it ever gets bad for me, I'd rather come out online to ask people for help. I would never in my life look at somebody who is struggling and tell them that, you know, I want money from you. I would never do that. And even like it doesn't even make sense. So, brothers and sisters, I want people to know that Burna Boy had intentions to really help that lady, and his team made efforts, good efforts. They spent millions of naira. I just hope that that money somehow they'll be able to recover it. They spent good effort, but unfortunately, this lady missed her flight. She was making too many demands, and then she came on social media saying that she wants to commit this thing. And her baby, why would you say something like that? Coming out to say that we're asking her for percentage, that is totally untrue. And then we are saying that we want to knock her. Life is not that bad for me. To be honest, I would never make such statements. If I like someone, doesn't matter if I'm a public figure, I'll come to you, I'll tell you I like you. The highest is you say no, you don't like me too. And I move on. And in a world where you can't really pay for things, why would I even stoop that low to do something like that? So guys, I'm making this video to let you know that everything you've been hearing online is entirely false. I'm going to post the screen record. Thank you very much for watching. God bless Burna Boy, and I'm sorry this is happening this way.
Okay, so you guys just heard what he said. I believe I pretty much said everything that I need to say. The only thing that I will add is that I hope that he's telling the truth about him supposedly propositioning her for sex and wanting a baby. But according to her, she has evidence, she has proof, she has their conversations, and she's going to release them. Hopefully, she does have those things because these are very serious allegations. But I personally, after listening to him, I mean, I don't know. And the truth is somewhere in between what she said and what he said. And if, with regards to, I guess we have to see, I'm going to wait for her because she did promise that she was going to show us evidence and proof of the conversation where he was propositioning her. So gonna wait and see all of that, and when that happens, that's when, if she's gonna share those conversations and in very clear details, that's when I'm going to make up my mind on that aspect of it. But if he did, very wrong. But anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment. Like this video and also share. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in my next one. Bye guys.